in to know I'm good at these things, but I'm not
Yeah.
good at those things. And I need to partner with somebody that knows how to do those things.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he always had really good bookers for the most
Yes.
part.
History repeats itself.
Well,
Yep.
Tony, let's get started with Jim Barnett. This is
Okay.
one of the most interesting characters. Why? Let me ask you first of all, why has not more been done on Jim Barnett? I mean, he to me is one of the most integral characters in wrestling history, and there's just not a lot of stuff on him. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure because he's such a fascinating character and he's involved in pretty much everything from 40 years. I'm not sure. I'm just glad I'm the guy that's kind of gathering it up and putting it together, and we're going to have a couple of great shows here about it. So at least he'll be mentioned and talked about pretty thoroughly here over the next couple of shows.
So
And
you're the greatest.
Jim is certainly not a shy guy. Wasn't not a shy guy. I mean, he would probably be more than willing right now to probably sit down if he was still with us and share his stories and probably in really detailed manner. That's just the way Jim was. I was fortunate enough to spend a long time. I told John this morning after reading your notes on your upcoming publication about Jim. I was fortunate enough to sit under that learning tree from 1970 to when Jim passed away, and what he always had something to teach you, and he was never shy about correcting you, but correcting you in a way where he would tell you the right way to do things, and that's what I always appreciated about Jim. He would get down on you, but then he would tell you what you did wrong and how to correct it, and he was a marvelous man.
He there's a couple of interviews out there with Jim. There's one really good one in Australia where he's being interviewed by the network in Australia, and they're talking to him about wrestling, and he's doing the kayfabe.
Yeah,
I don't know who's going to win. I just
yeah.
think it's a great sport. But the thing about it is, people have done the impression of Jim for so long and so often that he really doesn't sound that pronounced.
No,
That when people do that, he's really pretty even in the way that
yeah,
he talks.
yeah.
People
Um,
who never heard Jim Barnett speak do Jim Barnett impressions.
oh, they
Yeah,
do it based on what they heard somebody
yeah,
else
yeah,
do.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's right. And when
yeah.
they
yeah,
do it, other people who've never heard Jim Barnett speak either, know exactly what they're talking about.
Oh, all they have to say is "my boy," and they
My
know
my
that.
boy.
boys, my
Yep,
boys.
yep.
That's awesome.
And
So,
what's great is I've talked to so many people that worked with Jim, worked for Jim, a lot of wrestlers and a lot of different people, and they all kind of have the same story about him. That he was really smart in that most of the time. Now, every now and then he got a little out of bounds on a few things as far as business was concerned, but he really knew what he didn't know. And I just think that's so important if you're in a position like he was in to know I'm good at these things, but I'm not good at those things. And I need to partner with somebody that knows how to do those things. Like he always had really good bookers for the most
Yes.
part. He knew talent. He was good at spotting talent, but he wasn't good at manipulating talent or telling stories or doing the booking. He needed somebody for that. And he always went and the other thing I admired about Jim, or do admire about Jim, is that he's not the kind of guy looking for a Walmart discount. I mean, he's going to go out and get what he needs to get, and he's willing to
Right.
pay for it. I admire that about. You can tell he's a real businessman.